How's it going, friends? My name is Fringy. Now, I know what you're going to be saying. Fringy, where have you been? It's been nearly a fortnight and you haven't uploaded a single video. For other YouTubers, that may seem like a regular amount of time, but I upload like every 3 days. So an absence like that is definitely noticed. I've been busy. I mean, I was sick, which made things hard. It made things hard to do because I couldn't concentrate on the work that I needed to do and I couldn't fucking talk. I mean, the videos would have sounded like shit if I put them up, but I didn't even have the time anyway. I barely had time to play any goddamn games this weekend. It's been a bad week, but I'm back, and I felt like repaying the favor by trying something new, and by doing it in a different format, in a long format. Now, you guys know that I've had this idea floating around for the past few months of doing a long-form sort of talk show thing, where I just state my mind about the gaming industry, and a couple of topics that I select. It wasn't a weekly thing or anything like that. I really still don't even know how I'm going to do it. But fuck it. Let's try it out. So, the name is Fringy Frequency, as recommended by Gamer Nomad on one of the streams. And I'm going to be talking to you about a couple of topics from gaming news of late. And basically give my humble and very fucking angry opinion on it. Let's get started. So, I think the most obvious place to start would be with hatred. If you haven't heard about this game, then I don't know where the fuck you've been, because no, everybody will. It's just talking about it, and people won't shut the fuck up about it, which is what they should do if they don't like the game. So basically, hatred is a game where you play this dude and go and massacre civilians. That's the game. And obviously, a lot of people are up in arms, because it's a game purely designed based on shock value. Am I offended? No, of course not. I mean, I'm fairly sadistic, but I know, I just don't give a shit about this game. I don't find it offensive because I'm not forced to play it. I mean, it's a stupid game anyway, but I'll just discuss that. Basically, the way I look at it is the reasons to criticize this game would be like, well, you don't like the content matter. That's fine. I mean, I would criticize the game for looking shallow as shit and being really boring. I mean, all you do is shoot stuff. And that sounds a lot like shooters, but trust me, this looks very boring. Now, there are a lot of people who are offended, and people who are disgusted, particularly Polygon, but I'll get to them in a minute, don't worry. And basically people are saying, oh, this game is so disgusting, killing innocent civilians. Because, of course, there's no other game that lets you do that, right? Right. Or there's no other game that's built solely around violence. Yeah. So people are saying that this game is disgusting and should be banned. Now, if you think this game should be banned, go fuck yourself. It means you don't support free speech. That's what it means. If you think anything should be banned just because you don't like it, that's freedom. That means you are against freedom of speech. I don't care if you think it's offensive or if it hurt your feelings, but if you want something to be banned because you don't like it, you are against freedom of speech. These guys have the right to make this game. Even if you don't like it, and you find it offensive. Like, I can see why you find it offensive, because it's a game about massacres. I'm not offended, but I can see why you would be offended. However, the game is allowed to exist. The game should be allowed to exist, because the developers have their fucking money that they invested into this game, they put in the work, and they did put in work, obviously, and they have a right to release this game, even if you don't like it. There have been plenty of games like this. Postal, Ethnic Cleansing. They're all stupid games. And they're all games that got people up in arms for no reason. Because, of course, you don't have to buy the game. You know, I saw people... I like to make the comparison that if you're offended by this game, you must be offended by every game ever. Every game, that's AAA released now is about violence. Obviously, not all games are like that. You know, Mario's not about violence and whatnot. But most mature games now are centric around violence. And you know, people say to me, oh, but in Grand Theft Auto, you aren't forced to kill civilians. Now, that can lean either two ways. Either one, that makes you worse because a game didn't even encourage you to do it, but you did it anyway. Or two, you aren't forced to buy hatred. Like, that's the thing that blows my mind. They're like, oh, you know, in Grand Theft Auto, you aren't forced to kill people. Well, guess what you aren't forced to do? Buy hatred. It's not like the developers have a gun to your temple saying, play this game or you die. You don't have to play this game. If you really hate it that much, just watch the trailer and be like, this is stupid, and then leave. Or if you're a pussy and you have no fucking dick, oh, this game is offensive, and then leave. You don't need to bitch and moan and talk about how high and mighty you are because you are more intelligent than that. Of course you are. You probably still play Call of Duty or some shit like that. But you're a real gamer, right? I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. Now, obviously, a game like this is designed purely for shock value. And, you know, honestly, that's what I think the game was designed for. I really don't feel like the developers are trying to put across a message. This is a game designed for shock value. And it worked. I mean, the thing's got like 1 million views. And for a no-name developer, basically, with a new IP that's indie, that's pretty good. And, you know, I'm surprised that it was even a half-half ratio of likes to dislikes. But they did a good job marketing it. You got everybody talking about it. I mean, even got me talking about it, even though I'm really indifferent to it. And basically, they did a good job. And it was probably really convenient timing with the bullshit threat to Anita Sarkeesian. I'm not saying the threat was fake. I'm saying it was stupid. But I'm not going to talk about that right now. However, one website they did get talking about it was Polygon. Now, my opinion on Polygon has taken a fucking nosedive recently. And I mean this in the most serious way possible. I used to like these guys. And that wasn't even very long ago. But I don't know what the fuck has happened. But they have just crashed down like fucking Flight 19. I mean, I don't even know what's happened to them. They become social justice warrior fucking idiots and pussbags who just can't take a joke. Now, they wrote an article saying shock value doesn't work anymore. And I was scratching my head there, like, well, it did because you wrote an article on it. So, I mean, your article's existence negates the entire point the article makes. I mean, seriously, when you published that, did you not seriously sit there and think, hey, this actually doesn't make any sense? I mean, come on, seriously? They proceeded to write 3 more articles in the span of 2 days on this game. 4 articles in 2 days on a game you don't like. I mean, okay. You could have written 1, even though I really think you should have written none. If you don't like the game, seriously, just fucking ignore it. I mean, talking about it is going to make the game sell more, you fucking morons. What you're doing is the opposite of what you should be doing. But when you write articles about it, I mean, just write 1. You don't need to write 4 in the span of 2 days on what is essentially a one-note game and talking about all this bullshit. Now, I haven't read the articles and I don't plan on it because I know that they're going to be shit. But I already get the feeling I know what they're about, given that this is a Polygon article, and Polygon, as of late, have dropped off the face of the planet. And that is most evident in their review of Bayonetta 2. Now, you guys know that I am stoked as shit for Bayonetta 2. I am looking forward to that game so much. I'm looking forward to playing it, and it's only 4 days away. It looks great. And I knew that the game was going to get great reviews, but, I mean, the reviews for this game are sky high. Sky high. I mean, the game is currently sitting at a 91 on Metacritic. It's got like 5 or 6 perfect scores, and the majority of the reviews are in the 90s. Except for 1 from a major website, and that was Polygon. Polygon gave the game a 7.5 out of 10, like completely separate from all of the other reviews. Now, you know, if they given reasons like, well, you know, I didn't really like the gameplay, or, you know, I wasn't a fan of the music, or the game looked dated, you know, at least that's understandable, even though I think you'd be being too harsh. Oh, but oh no. No. The reason behind their shit review was the fact that the game was too sexy. I shit you not. Basically, their only complaint was that Bayonetta was scantily clad and that the camera angled to show her ass and stuff. And she is sexy, okay? Bayonetta is sexy in a British accent. Oh god, it's so good. But that's basically all they bitched about. And then they wrapped it up with the conclusion that, oh, you gotta leave your brain at the door more so than any other game to enjoy it. And I could not believe my fucking eyes when I read that review. It was truly awful. And the only thing I could think after that review was, wow, you guys really have no testicles. I mean, you have no dick. Especially when these guys gave Skylanders a fucking 8. Skylanders of all things. I mean, it's truly one of the worst reviews I've ever read in my life. And, you know, they gave it a positive review, but it's the fact that they talked about bullshit that made me angry. It's so stupid. In fact, let me read to you what their wrap-up was. Bayonetta 2's blatant over-sexualization puts a dent in an otherwise great game. Now, Platinum is a Japanese developer. It's a Japanese game. So expecting her not to be sexualized makes you fucking stupid. I mean, this is a Japanese game. Japan always sexualize women, you fucking moron. You're meant to be a games journalist. You should know this. And this is what he said at the end. I won't guess why the blatant over-sexualization is still there, often more intensely than before, but it causes an otherwise great game to require a much bigger mental compromise to enjoy. Yeah. I am at a loss for words. You have a game that, I mean, even you acknowledged in the review that it's fucking great and that it's a blast to play. You understand that the game is fun to play. And I played the demo. The demo, guaranteed I'd be buying it. And the demo almost guarantees in my mind this will be Game of the Year contender. And here you are, saying, yeah, the game is fantastic, but she's too sexy. So now, we gotta downrate the game by 25%. I mean, for fuck's sake, man. I mean, I mean, he sounded like an Anita Sarkeesian at this point. I mean, she went on Twitter having a thing about, oh, why none of the reviewers mentioning the fact that Bayonetta's too sexy? Crying and whining about bullshit that doesn't matter like usual. And, you know, you could dislike the game all you want, and if you don't like that sexy aspect of it, here is a hint for you. Don't buy the game. Ignore the game. Talking about it does bad things. Just like hatred. I would not know that hatred existed if fuckwads like Polygon didn't write about it. You are doing the opposite of what you want to do. And honestly, you aren't going to stop people who want to play Bayonetta 2 from buying the game. Because at the end of the day, a lot of gamers don't actually give a shit what games you like or dislike. Because, I mean, you don't play games, that much is obvious to me. What with the fact that you steal videos from Let's Players, and the fact that in 2010, only 4 years ago, you said you don't like video games because they're violent. But hey, I should give you money, right, so you can make a bullshit series about how gamers are sexist while misrepresenting games. Fucking bitch. Oh no, I'm so mean, aren't I? We'll get fucking used to it. I mean, it's seriously been a trend of people who don't have anything dangling between their legs recently, in an attempt to be politically correct about everything. Characters can't be too sexy, characters can't be too cliche, you can't have cliche plot lines. Everything has to be politically correct. You can't have stereotypes anymore. And look, honestly, if you think that they should compromise their creative vision just for you, I'm sorry, but that makes you an asshole. Now, that's different from me saying, well, here's an objective criticism of the game's mechanics, or the fact that the game doesn't look good, and then criticizing it. You know, that's okay. But something so subjective as the main character is too scantily clad, I mean, that's a ridiculous complaint. And saying, me, make it better for me, is entitled as shit. It really is. Especially when this is a game that you're meant to play and enjoy. It's an action game. It's meant to be about fun. You aren't meant to be paying that much attention to how, like, her physique or, you know, the fact that the hair comes off as she uses the attacks. That's part of the game. That was Platinum's creative vision. You can say it was vapid all you want, but it was their choice. You don't have to like it. But completely bashing a game because of one aspect, and it is a minor aspect of the game. I'm not buying it because she's scantily clad, I'm buying it because it's fun. And I'm pretty sure like 95% of people agree with me. Evident by the fact that a lot of people buy Devil May Cry even though it's about a guy. I mean, come on. I mean, in fact, the things Anita Sarkeesian say completely contradict one another. She wants more strong female characters in video games, and I agree, there should be more strong female characters in video games. But then they put them in, and you don't like them because they're too sexy. Which again blows my mind, because I didn't know that I was built like Kratos, because I know I'm not, or Marcus Phoenix, or Master Chief. These men are all representative of regular people, you know, being buff as shit. Look, the thing about games, and media in general is that both sides of the party are misrepresented in terms of looks. Because I don't want to play as an ugly chick or something. Does that make me a bad person? I don't think so. Because I don't want to play as me in most games. I'm me 100% of the time. I like to play games to play as someone else. Like, I mean, honestly, this is my biggest problem with Anita Sarkeesian, is the fact that she points out things that are flaws, and sometimes the flaws are made up or misrepresented, but she offers no alternative to the situation. Okay, so the damsel in distress trope is used. Why don't you write a game story and get it off the ground? Oh, you can't? Oh, wow, this is a big surprise to me. Or like, oh, you know, there aren't enough strong female characters in games. Okay, make some. Encourage people to do them. I mean, seriously, there is no point about bitching about something if there is no way it can be changed. Like, and some will probably say, oh, but all you do is bitch and moan on your channel. Yeah, but the thing is that the things I complain about can be changed. You know, you don't need to have day one DLC. You don't need season passes or pre-order exclusive bonuses. You don't need these things. These things can be changed. When I criticize a game, it's for mechanics that can be changed. If you cannot offer any alternative to these characters, and there are alternatives that you never bring up, then what is the point of your series? Your series is completely pointless. Not to mention the fact that you have never, ever connected video games to actual reality and how it affects the brain. Because here's a funny thing for you, Anita. Most people are able to distinguish between reality and fantasy. I mean, the best example I can give is, you know, I play Call of Duty. I don't go out and kill people. I play Grand Theft Auto. I don't steal people's cars. I've played racing games. I don't race at fucking 150 kilometers per hour on a residential road. I don't go cutting up people with a sword. I don't do these things because I can distinguish between reality and fantasy. And so can 99% of the fucking world. Yeah, maybe a small minority might think like that, but you ignore them because they're long gone. Their head is long gone. But to say that this stuff, and she said that the less you think you're affected by it, and I know that I'm not very affected by media, the more likely you are to be affected. Where's your fucking proof? This is my biggest problem with Anita Sarkeesian. She never shows proof. Never. Never, ever, ever. Never. She's never linked one scientific study to how video games affect your behavior, and the reason why is because there's not one. Because it doesn't. I mean, I spent 6 months at school, in my final year of school, researching how video games affect the brain and how you think. They don't. They don't. I mean, fucking surprise, huh? Games don't affect your brain. That turned into a side rant about Anita Sarkeesian, and that's only the tip of the iceberg, but honestly, I can't stand talking about her, because not only does it make her more popular, but her fucking minions just won't listen to anything you say. Their stuff doesn't register in their head. And honestly, most of them don't play video games. So I don't care what they think. And the same thing with MSNBC and all these fuckers saying Anita is great. And how gamers are the assholes. Yeah, we're the assholes. Not the fact that this woman is saying things that aren't true, is misrepresenting gaming community and gamers, making us look bad, making us all look like sexist people, which, by the way, I have a lot of friends who are chicks. I don't think they're lesser than me, because that is what misogyny is. Thinking women are lesser than you, that you're better than they are. Most gamers aren't like that. The minority might be like that, but they are the minority. And drawing broad strokes may get the fence painted faster, but your broad strokes are fucking wrong. It'd be like painting a fucking church in green or some shit. I mean, it's completely off color. And I fucking goddamn it. That's enough for today. I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Fringy Frequency. Just let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the new format. It's longer than most videos. I mean, it's running at about 20 minutes now. But I've always wanted to do a format like this, and any feedback in terms of how I can make it better or whether or not you like the format is appreciated. I'll probably be able to get more videos out if I do it in a format like this, but ultimately, it's up to you. What you guys like, I'll put out. Thanks for watching, I'm Fringy, and have a good one.